So I'm going to keep this as unbiased as possible. Don't look at the fact that I have Caleb Plant as my banner on YouTube. Don't look at that. I'm going to keep this as unbiased as I can while breaking down this fight and giving my real raw opinion on why I believe Caleb Plant will be too much for Jermall Charlo. The reason why I think Caleb Plant will be too much for Jermall Charlo, let's just take away the inactivity off the table, because we know Jermall Charlo has been inactive. That's no secret. Hasn't fought in 2 years. He just came back. He fought Jose, right? So we're not going to bring up the conversation of inactivity, at least for right now, because we know it's obvious he's been inactive, right? But even with that, that's not why I believe Caleb will beat Jermall Charlo. The reason why I think Caleb will beat Jermall Charlo is because Caleb has the experience in this fight. Caleb has experience fighting at the top level. Jermall Charlo don't have that experience. Caleb Plant has fought Sayul. Caleb Plant has fought David Benavidez. These are two upper echelon fights for Caleb. And granted, yeah, I understand he came up short in those fights, but that's what's going to happen at the top level. Somebody has to lose, right? But the fact is, he fought those fights. He has the experience going in those fights and fighting them. And it wasn't like he went on those fights and got his behind whooped. He put on a respectable performance, right? When he went up against Sayul, he put on a respectable performance. He got a lot of fans off of that fight because, mind you, a lot of people thought Caleb was going to go in there and get cooked. Let's not act like Caleb wasn't even supposed to have lasted for as long as he did. I was seeing people talking about, oh, Caleb was going to be knocked out in 6 rounds, 5 rounds. Yeah, people was counting Caleb out. And he put on a respectable performance to even last for as long as he did. But he's able to take that fight and he's able to sharpen up his tools and he's able to say to himself, hey, I got some things I need to work on. Now I'm looking at Caleb. He's doing catch and shoot drills now, right? He's constantly trying to sharpen up his skills. Even when he fought David, he's coming off of a knockout win against Darrell after he done outboxed Darrell for 9 rounds straight before knocking him out. He took that fight, fought David. He fought well for the first half of the fight, but it went downhill. The man got hit by a body shot, and then the man had a cut. Once you had those two things, it was downhill for, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was downhill for Caleb. But the fact of the matter is, he fought those fights. You have experience fighting at the top level. So with Jermall Charlo, okay, yeah, you have Austin Trout. You have J-Rock. You have Derevchenko, but he's not really a high upper echelon type of fighter. He's just a tough fighter who will give you a really tough fight. You know what I'm saying? Like he's that kind of a fighter. He will give you a tough fight. But besides that, what fight can I give you to judge you fairly on to say that you can beat Caleb? Now, I will bring this up, and this is also a huge factor in this fight as well. Jermall Charlo, if they was to fight, Jermall Charlo will be going up against Breadman again. Because mind you, when he knocked out J-Rock, that was J-Rock's trainer. Breadman, Stephen Edwards. That's Caleb Plant's new trainer. So we could expect that the mistake that Breadman had made when he fought Charlo, he won't make that same mistake again, right? But to think about this too, let's bring up the inactivity. I believe Jermall Charlo's last fight was 2021, 2022. If it's 2021, Caleb will have 3 fights since then. And out of those 3 fights, he had 3 big fights. He had Sayul, he had Darrell, he had David. Those are 3 big fights. Charlo will only have 1 fight, and that's against Jose Benavidez. So again, it just hurts. It just hurts the conversation for Charlo. Now, I'm not going to be biased and say Caleb Plant completely just dominates Charlo. I will give Charlo this. I will say this. Charlo has a puncher's chance. Despite him not having a knockout in a long time, Charlo has a puncher's chance. we can't factor out the fact that he has power. We can't factor out the fact that he has a real strong jab. We can't factor out these things because these things play a major part going into the fight. Right? I will also give Charlo a strong chance if Caleb gasses out in the second half of the fight. But here's the thing, you have to push Caleb for that to happen. Look at the fights he gassed out in. Out of his last 3 fights, he only gassed out of 2 of them. He gassed out of the David fight, and then he gassed out of the Sayul fight. He gassed out of those fights because those 2 fighters in particular pushed Caleb to exhaustion. Darrell, however, he fought Caleb Plant's pace. He was trying to, outbox Caleb, and he was trying to counter Caleb, but Caleb was just way too fast. That fed into Caleb not being exhausted going into the championship rounds. Hence why he got him behind knocked out in the 9th round, because he wasn't tired. You have to push Caleb if you want that. If you're trying to go into that fight trying to outbox Caleb, you're going to lose that fight, especially not fighting after 2 years and you just had a tune-up fight, bringing up the whole 2 years thing. I don't know if Charlo has been in the gym, and of course, I understand he had personal things going on, but if you haven't been in the gym, at least working on something and trying to perfect, not even just that, but just trying to stay in shape, that could also hurt you as well, bro, because Caleb has been in the gym. Caleb stays away all year long. So that also helps with fight sharpness. The fact that he's always in the gym, he's always working out, he's always trying to perfect his craft, that goes into staying fight sharp as well. So you trying to outbox Caleb will not be a smart idea for you, because you're going up against a very sharp fighter, at least in the first half of the fight. But on that note, if you enjoyed the content, make sure you hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. But comment down below, how do y'all see the Jermall Charlo and Caleb Plant fight? If it was to happen, how do y'all see that fight going? But if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that red button that says subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss out on any future uploads. And like always, it's your boy Remy. I love you guys, and I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.